Hey guys, today I wanted to go over brokers because one of the number one questions that I am always getting in my Twitter DMs is what broker do I use and where am I finding locates on all these stocks? I seem to always have access to finding all these locates to short the hard to borrow stocks on the day. And that's correct because I have the best brokers for short selling. Now, anytime someone asks you this question, I'm just going to send over this video to you, and it should give you a pretty thorough explanation of the brokers I use and the ones that I have experience with using, and the ones that I know to be the best brokers catered to short sellers. I'm going to go over the brokers that are best for big accounts, and I'm going to go over the brokers that are best for small accounts. Now, let's dive into it. Okay, these are the 5 brokers that are best catered to short sellers. We have Cobra, Speed Trader, specifically the Apex Pro account over there. We also have Centerpoint, specifically the Clear Street account over there. And we also have Trade Zero and Guardian. I have accounts at Cobra, Speed Trader, Centerpoint, and Trade Zero. So those are the brokerages that I will be going over today. I do not have a brokerage account at Guardian. However, I have heard good things about them, and I do know that they are one of the top 5 brokerages for short sellers. So I felt obligated to add them to the list, but I will not be going over them since I have no experience using them and have no knowledge about them. Okay, let's just talk about the minimum requirements to open each account, and then we'll also start talking about commissions. For Cobra and Centerpoint, you need at least 30K to open an account. Speed Trader, you need 2,500. Trade Zero, you need 2,500 for their US brokerage. For Trade Zero's international brokerage, it's at least 500. And for commissions, Cobra, they charge you a per share commission rate. And for Cobra, it's 0.004. Speed Trader, it's also a per share commission rate, and it's 0.0044. And Centerpoint, they charge 0.003 per share, or you can also be charged per ticket, in which they'll charge you $5.95 per ticket. So if you're someone like me that is trading, wants to slam something 5 or 10,000 shares, instead of being charged 5 or 10,000 shares times 0.003, I'm going to just be charged $5.95. However, if I'm doing per ticket pricing, I cannot do more than 20,000 share orders. So that's something important to keep in mind. That is the max amount of shares I can buy and sell at one time doing per ticket pricing. For Trade Zero, for the US brokerage, it is free commission. So that's actually really cool over there. Unless the stock is under $1 or it's an OTC stock. Then the commission is going to be 0.003 per share. Now let's talk about the overnight borrow fees. For any of you that have an overnight pattern or like to swing shorts, Cobra, Speed Trader, and Centerpoint, the overnight borrow fees over there are all very, very cheap. So either one of those, you're going to have cheap overnight fees if you ever try to swing short a stock. Trade Zero, the overnight borrow fees are incredibly expensive, and it's never worth it to hold overnight. They are for intraday trading only. And now let's get into some more important questions, such as best locates and who has the cheapest locates. By far, the number one most expensive fee that is eaten into my profits are locate fees. So it's really important to me that I'm finding the cheapest locates out there. Now, when it comes to the cheapest locates, I got to give it a Cobra and Speed Trader. By far, these two have the cheapest locates. They're very similar when it comes to locate prices. However, I give Cobra the rank of number 1 because they can offer you many times free shares. And if I can get shares for free and not have to pay a thing, I mean, nothing beats that. So Cobra's the only one that offers that. Many times I'm getting free shares from them, and that really comes in handy, and that saves me a lot of money. So they get ranked number 1, hands down, when it comes to cheapest locates. Speed Trader is a close second. They just never offer you free shares. So therefore, they're not getting the rank number 1. Centerpoint, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they're more pricey than Speed Trader and Cobra. More often than not, I'm finding cheaper shares at Cobra or Speed Trader than I am at Centerpoint. And when it comes to Trade Zero, they're going to get dead last in this segment because by far their locate fees are going to be much more expensive than what I'm finding at Cobra, Speed Trader, or Centerpoint. Trade Zero has the most expensive borrows, hands down. Okay, now this is actually an important segment. Let's go over the best brokers, the best brokerages for locating restricted shares. Every now and then, a stock is going to go on Reg Sho. And when a stock is on Reg Sho, locates for shares on that stock is going to be restricted at the vast majority of brokers. It actually wasn't just until recently that Cobra and Speed Trader even allowed you to locate these shares. I remember just a month or 2 ago, you couldn't even locate Reg Sho stocks at Cobra and Speed Trader. You could only find them at Centerpoint or Trade Zero. But now Cobra and Speed Trader do allow you to locate these shares as well. Now, it's really important to me that I'm finding these restricted shares and that I'm able to locate stocks that are on Reg Sho. These actually tend to be some of my biggest winners, and I'll explain why. Because when a stock goes on Reg Sho, there is a very limited amount of shares out there that you can even locate. They're very hard to find. And when there's a very limited supply of locates out there, that means there's not going to really be a lot of short sellers in the stock that day. And if you don't have a lot of short sellers in a stock, and there's a very small amount of short sellers in that stock that day, the odds of that thing squeezing go way down. You need shorts for a squeeze. No shorts, chances of a squeeze, very low. So really often what I tend to see is that these stocks really do tend to collapse when there's not a lot of short sellers in the stock that given day. Now, when it comes to which broker I'm finding these locates at the most, it really does vary. I'm either going to find them at Centerpoint, Cobra, or Speed Trader. There's not one that has them more than the others. I really never know which one is going to have them when a stock is on Reg Sho that day. However, in this segment, I do give Centerpoint rank number 1. And the reason for this is because when you borrow these restricted shares at Centerpoint, they allow you to recycle shares throughout the day. So when you borrow shares, you're able to short them all you want all day. And you can short, cover as many times as you want. Now, when it comes to Cobra and Speed Trader, they do not allow you to recycle shares. As soon as you cover up your shares on the day, you actually have to re-borrow them in order to short sell that stock again on the day. Now, for me, that doesn't bother me too much because for my trading style, I just need that one trade. As soon as I short sell a stock, I have my exit plan and I have my profit target plan. So it's not that big a deal for me because I'm not the type that's always going, in and out recycling shares. However, for some, I see how that could be really annoying because a lot of people do like to recycle shares and go in and out. So for this reason, I do give Centerpoint rank number 1 because they allow you to recycle shares for restricted stocks that are on Reg Sho. Now, Trade Zero also does allow you to recycle shares on the day for stocks that are on Reg Sho. However, I never use Trade Zero when stocks are on Reg Sho, simply because the locate fees for these stocks are always so high. There's such a limited amount of supply of these, and Trade Zero charges a really pretty penny to find locates on these stocks. Okay, and here it is, the best brokerage for big accounts for 30K and above. Cobra really does take it. Cobra is my main broker and the brokerage I'm using the vast majority of the time. This is where I'm finding the vast majority of my locates every single day. When it comes to locates, I really got to give it to them. I can't tell you how many times they have really come in clutch for me. Even on days when it looks like I'm just not going to find shares on the stock that I want that day. When I'm looking at all my brokerage accounts and all their locate routes, I just cannot seem to find shares. They're just ran out everywhere. Cobra actually has a chat room on their website and you can contact them directly, and they have their resources and they have their ways. And it's really a last resort option. When I can't find shares, I'll go and contact them directly to see if they can do anything to find some shares from me using the resources that they have. And several times they have come in really clutch for me. They found me shares on the day and allowed me to execute my plan that day. Now, when it comes to locates, they went for the cheapest. I mean, there's no other brokerage out there that is handing out free shares on any given day. Cobra is the only broker I know that I'm getting free shares from, and it saves me a lot of money on locate fees. And not to mention, they got some of the best customer service out there. It's really a good group of really kind, professional guys that are just really good at their jobs. Anytime you have questions or concerns, they are readily available and they will really take care of you. Now, this slide's a little bit more for advanced traders, someone that already has a Cobra account or a Speed Trader account, and they're just looking to open up another account somewhere. A brokerage that really complements the broker that they're already using. Like if this broker doesn't have shares for that stock, maybe the other one will. And what I found is that Cobra and Centerpoint really complement each other. When Cobra happens to not have shares that day, Centerpoint will. And if Centerpoint doesn't have shares that day, I see that Cobra always has them. And if Cobra, for some reason that day, it's a really expensive borrow, I'll see that Centerpoint, it's way cheaper that day. And it's just, they really complement each other really well. So if you're looking for a second brokerage account to, to increase your ability to always finding shares on the day for stocks that are hard to borrow, I highly recommend the second brokerage account that you open is actually Centerpoint because it complements Cobra really well. Now, when it comes to brokers that are not good combo brokers that do not match well, that do not really complement each other, it's got to be Cobra and Speed Trader. They are definitely the two best brokers out there, especially when it comes to locating shares and when it comes to the cheapest locates. However, they do not complement each other well. It always seems that when Cobra has shares, so does Speed Trader. And when Cobra does not have shares, Speed Trader also does not seem to have those shares. So they're really similar when it comes to locates, and it's not necessary to have both brokerages. You really only need one of them. And last but not least, let's talk about the best brokerages for small accounts. Speed Trader is going to take the win here 100%. I mean, look, guys, you're getting such a top tier broker and you only need at least $2,500 to open up an account. I mean, they are such a close second to Cobra. They're just as good, honestly, in my opinion. The only difference is that Cobra allows you to get free shares, and also Cobra is just a little bit more clutch when it comes to locates. But other than that, I mean, Speed Trader is just as good. The only one thing here that I should fill you in on is that in order to use their platform, the DAS trading platform at Speed Trader, you have to have at least $10,000. But if you have less than $10,000, then you have to use their online web platform. And some people don't like that, but I mean, if you have like a Thinkorswim or some other account in which you're using your charting for, then you could just use the online web platform just to place orders. But if that bothers some people, then maybe you need at least $10,000 for Speed Trader so you can use their DAS platform. But the most important factor here, I think, for short selling is being able to find shares, and Speed Trader is superior for that. And when it comes to small accounts, there's not a better brokerage when it comes to locating shares. And now for Trade Zero, what's nice about them is that there is no commissions for buying and selling stock. You do get to trade for free. However, the cons there about Trade Zero is that sometimes their platform does glitch. I've experienced more platform glitches with this specific brokerage that I have than any other. I think just recently I remember hearing about a platform glitch, and a lot of people complained about it in a chat room I was in. But there's nothing more frustrating than being in a trade and not being able to do anything about it because the platform just froze. Another con is that borrows can get really expensive. Expensive to the point that it might sway you not to want to borrow shares, especially if you're a small account. Let me give you an example. The opportunity cost at Trade Zero can be a bit pricier since locates are much more expensive. Let me give you an example. Let's say that there's a stock on the day that you think you might want to short, but you want the stock to do something very specific before you decide to attack it. And let's also say that the shares are a little expensive on the day, and you might not even use them. You're not sure if you're going to use them because you need the stock to do something very specific. Because that borrow fee is a bit more expensive, and you don't want to waste that money on a stock that you might not even short on the day. You might choose to wait and see if it does exactly what you want before you choose to borrow shares. But at that point, the shares are probably already gone, and you're not going to find any shares. And if the stock did what you want, you're going to miss out on that trade. But at Speed Trader, the opportunity cost is much less expensive since locates are so much cheaper. It won't be as big of a concern for you over there to pay for the locates to maybe or maybe not short the stock on the day. But at least you have the ability to do so if the stock does what you want. And the locate fees won't hurt your account as much. There is one thing that TradeZero does have that does separate themselves from all the other brokers. But this is really only for international clients. Anyone that's not from the US, you can open up an account at TradeZero International. It's their brokerage not located in the US. And over there, you can bypass the pattern day trader rule. That's such a huge advantage because I mean, the pattern day trader rule is such an annoying, frustrating rule that only lets you do 3 trades a week. And if you can bypass that rule and have an account that's still really good with locates, I mean, I would do that. And I actually have some promo codes for you guys if you're looking to open up a brokerage account at any one of them. Here's the link, or here's the promo code. I'm also going to post it in the description below. If you use them, you'll get cheaper commissions, and you'll also get free platform for a month or 2. For TradeZero, I actually do not have one yet, but when I get it, I will post it below. For now, you can actually just use my name and use this referral as a discount. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.